I could say I played for the Patriots for 12 years. I mean, I don't think we're doing fact checking on this. These guys had
Yeah.
enough money to book a charter. Are they in fitness industry? I don't know. I think one of the guys is a personal trainer, which he didn't look too personal trainery ish.
No.
Um, but I thought the party was weird. I think like a 3-person BDSM party is probably one you have in a bedroom, not while like having dinner. Um, and so just like it's weird how like both the guys were really into it, but they were also into the girls who weren't into it. So just like a bad plan. But if they had an agenda, but man, didn't work out for them in the end. I didn't love it, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the second night was better because everyone shit up at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm okay. In their head, they're like, "There's a good shot. I hook up with one of these girls on this charter," and that did not work out.
I
So
think that's Dennis from Always Sunny because of the implication. Uh, but it's a bad look. But I say it's a bad look, but like I don't know what these guys' agendas. Maybe they both got turned on by each wearing these outfits, right? And so for them, great. Maybe they did. Maybe they really just like taking photos of naked women. I don't know.
yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah. Hey, everyone got something out of it, right? The girls got some
right,
awesome photos of themselves, and the guys got to hang out with them for like parts of the day. So,
yeah,
and
maybe,
they
maybe, yeah, maybe,
left the biggest tip of the season too.
yeah. How much did it end up being? I know they said biggest tip, but I
27,
didn't.
500.
It's a lot. Yeah. I think
That's
they were locking like low 20s. So um that's a good number. But listen, uh maybe these guys really got what they wanted. I don't know.
I feel poor Chef Dave. That saltfish. What was it? It's like a salt
So it's a
crusted fish, or sorry.
yeah, so you bake it, or you put it in the oven, and you basically that like white that was on the top of it was all salt. And so the salt like adds flavor into the fish while bringing out the moisture, I think. And so basically, I mean, it sounded like he just put some vodka on it, lit it on fire, cracked it, and then delivered it. I mean, I've never seen that before. I'm sure it's like maybe it's like a Mediterranean delicacy or it's done all the time and I'm just an idiot, but I've never seen it before.
Looked delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. And half the guests weren't there. I don't know.
Oh,
Dave
also,
continues to kill it.
yeah, Dave is having an unbelievable second half of the season. I will say it, Natasha, leave him alone, right? Like, don't, just don't. I know everyone knows what I'm talking about. Just Natasha, don't. All right, just leave him alone. Um,
Agreed.
but no, I mean, I think he's having a great half of the season. Sean, something I did want to bring up. Um, there was a lot of leather being worn throughout this
Mm,
episode, but there's also Reed putting a shoe in his mouth in this episode. So
good transition.
yeah, leather shoe. Thank you. Um, Reed has a hard time connecting with these people. Um, I don't want to say Jason was right at this point, but he seems like we've seen this formula. He's the fourth man. His jokes aren't landing. And so he tries to make a joke, went totally wrong, just like saying that
it will it
Courtney's like a uh wasn't pessimist. What was the word he used?
narcissist.
Narcissist.
I think it was okay at first. So I guess for context, Courtney kind of playfully was like, you know, so it's Courtney, Z, and Reed all hanging out. Courtney playfully asked Reed, "Do you fancy any of the girls on the boat besides me?" And she starts laughing. And Reed goes, "You have an undiagnosed case of narcissism." If he moves on after that, that's like just like good, funny banter back and forth,
It's
right?
great.
Like
Yep.
it's good. And then he decides he was going to explain narcissism to her. I think and that's when it is taken too far. And
Yeah, it's like when you're joking around with your buddies and you call one of your buddies an idiot, and then like they're like, yeah, that's fine. Like we're joking, but then I feel like, yeah, an idiot's someone who doesn't get a joke because they're so dumb. Like that. All right, now I'm hurt, you know?
yeah,
And so like I get it. He was like trying to make a joke. It went totally wrong. It went downhill, it went into a rabbit hole. Um, I feel for Courtney because obviously she deals with some like body issues. And so that stirred some stuff up. But I think if we're being honest here, like Reed had no intention of hurting anyone. He just a joke that went downhill real quick.
he does what Jason wouldn't do, which is like, all right, I'm gonna apologize and like I think he'll fit in. Like I don't think she holds a grudge against him. It sounds like she does forgive him at the end, but like just him making the effort like differentiates him from Jason, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, and he does at the end of the episode, tries to like really like pump Courtney up a little bit, which I think that's what he thought Courtney needed, and I'm sure she appreciated it, but like she knows she deals with this stuff, so I really don't think no, I don't think there was too much harm here. Um, but yeah, I mean you got to feel for Courtney. Uh,
John, so was Jason right though? Because like Reed, like none of his jokes are landing with Courtney or Z either, right? It seems like the only things that land are Courtney twerking and Z
that's it.
laughing.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Like
That's the whole thing. I
so, like
think
there's a little truth in what he said. I think.
it's 100. I love Jason as a person on the show? No. Do I give him a little bit more credit here? Maybe, because it just seemed like Z's got like this whole like he's like a
He's
nice guy, he's a friend zone guy, but he thinks maybe because Courtney and I kind of like hooked up last season, you know, made out at least. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. Sean, do you think Reed lands like one joke before the season's over?
maybe now, like because of like post narcissism comment.
No.
Yes, because like I feel like it broke things down, but then maybe they'll build it back up and they'll like him a little bit more. Like he is
Yeah.
trying. I mean, and I know no one in Europe cares about college football. But like he's trying
That
to talk
was
to them about
great.
the Bama game. I don't know. I think Courtney's there's a little truth there. Like
Yeah.
she she wants to be involved in the joke, or she wants to be sexually harassed. Maybe he should like I don't know. It's there's just like it's if you're a guy who's like just joins his crew and like you want to be the funny guy and get some jokes off, it's tough.
Yeah.
Courtney and Z are a tough crowd.
Yeah, I could not imagine telling two people that you're upset that you can't watch the Bama Old Miss game. Like he's like, I don't know what either of those things are. Is Alabama a place? What is Old Miss? You know? So it's just tough luck. Um John, I only have one more thing on this episode, which we began to speak about. At the very end, I love Natalia, who I do think can be manipulative. Um, she's like, I'm calm. And Kyle, like his blood is boiling. And he's like, I'm effing calm. I'm like, that's it was just so funny because like I've like we've all argued with that person that just like has made our blood boil. And so like at some point, like you just get so amped up to be in this argument, but they're just nonchalant and it makes you more upset. That's what Kyle's in right now. Obviously I'm more team Natalia than anything, but man, that guy, I know we talked about it at the beginning, but I started to position into who won, who lost the episode here, Sean.
Let's do it.
So yeah, so who'd you have winning the episode? You get to go first on both these because I've been stealing thunder left and right
All
this season.
right. I went with Reed just because all he really needed to accomplish as Jason's replacement is like be slightly more likable than Jason. And he's already done that. Like by apologizing to Courtney, Like that was such a low bar, but he did it. Like dude, like don't explain your jokes or like your quips and stuff like that. Don't explain what narcissism is to people. That's it's not. I don't know. That was a bad look, but I think the low bar he had was being Jason's replacement. He's already cleared it, and I like the guy. I like him more than I did last episode. I liked his phone call home to his parents. I like the accent. I don't know. Um, He's my favorite person ever on the show, but like I had to pick a Reed.
So Sean, I'll tell you, that was a tepid pick because I
Mm,
think it was hard to pick somebody in this
it
episode.
was, yeah.
Like I don't think anybody necessarily stood out. I sound like a broken record. I went with Dave just because like
Yeah.
he continues to crush. Like the saltfish was big, everybody loved it. The guests loved the food. So honestly, I didn't think anybody had that strong of an episode. So it's Dave for me.
It was hard to pick because
Yeah.
everyone interior is just kind of tough. Like you can't really pick Natalia just because all the storm stuff is so weird.
Yeah.
And Z, yeah, nothing from Z. Courtney, there's really no one good to pick. So I went with Reed just because of the low bar as far as replacing Jason. But yeah, I thought I'd go with Dave too.
Yeah.
Um, and for losing the episode, I kind of explained this already, but the two primaries, and look, they seem like cool people. They left a huge tip. That's that's always big for me, but their plan didn't work. And there's a part of these guys where they're like, man, we spent a lot of money on that. And
Yeah.
these girls couldn't even show up to dinner.
Yeah. It's a tough look. It was weird because like I have to think like aside from what was going on with like their relationship with the other charter guests, they seem like really nice guys to like the crew,
Hmm.
right? Like they were always respectful. Um, but again, I can't say these guys are like great guys because I don't know. I don't know what was going on behind closed doors, but I do know I have a guess what didn't happen behind closed doors. So,
Hmm.
yeah. No, Sean, I agree. I'm just gonna go with Kyle. I just to be different, but also just because like he's wearing on me. He's like I went from liking him to like being totally out to being back in, but I started the episode totally out. I'm ending the episode totally out. So a little bit of a yo-yo here, but I think like I have to say that like I would rather he go than Natasha go if one of them had to go at this point. I don't know.
Well, Kyle's
Unless I unless I know that Natalia and Kyle could work together.
Kyle sometimes is dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. Like what? I don't. When Natalia comes with him like with like some fair like criticism or pushback about things he said about her, he gets so offended so quickly, and it's theatrics. Like
Yeah. All right, I take that back. I'd rather Natasha leave than Kyle. But I mean, it's not. It's
well, because I feel like Kyle's kind of playing for the cameras a little bit, like
yeah.
about how mad he is half the time. Yeah,
Yep.
Natasha's a weirdo. I still don't quite get her. I don't think we
Yeah.
see Natasha again on this show. Would be my guess.
No, I think we probably get Natalia back. I honestly
Yeah,
don't think we get Kyle back. I think he just wears on people. Like I think at the end of the season, the scores on him are going to be low. Like I
I think Natalia Chiefs do might be that could happen next season.
yeah, I could. I had a tweet, Sean, that like kind of like got a little bit of traction,
Mm,
and everybody was kind of like on my side that like I'm wearing thin on Kyle, or he's wearing thin on me, I guess. Um,
yeah, even just like talking to friends of mine that watch Below Deck, no one this season has like a favorite cast member. I mean, I think it could be Dave or Courtney or Z.
I mean, Reagan.
Oh yeah, for me it's still Regan, of course, but I feel like the world's gonna forget about her eventually.
Not us.
You need one person in interior that like with a really high Q score. I don't even think Natalia has that because of
No.
all the storm stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do like this season. I like it more than last med season. I'm sticking with that, but because there's a lot of action, lots happening. I always
Yeah.
appreciate that. We'll see though. We'll see how whether it's six eliminated or not for me.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the episode, Sean. Listen, man, we're getting down to the wire on this one. I don't know if there's 2 episodes left, 3 episodes left. I would imagine there's more than one episode left, and I don't
We
know what
know
they're
it
gonna
ends in
do.
November, but when I don't know.
Well, it ends in November, but there could be a
Re-
2-part reunion for all we know.
That's actually very true. Yeah,
So,
1 to 2 charters left.
anyway,
I think would be it. Yeah.
yeah. So, all right, man. Everybody, thanks for listening. Sean, take us out.
Yeah. Everyone, thanks again for listening. Jen, I'll see you next week. Bon voyage.